All day, every day to my own flow. I play, baby, like there's no tomorrow. All day, every day to my own flow. I play, baby, like there's no tomorrow. Hey, 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 hey. But play. I don't wanna work, I just wanna slay. I need you to move out my way. I don't make the rules.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to TV Collective Live. We're live, baby. If you're here, put your name in chat so we can see who's in the room. See who's in the room. Say hello, say good morning. Tell us how you're feeling this morning. Hi, Sam. Hey, Sam, good to see you. Lovely to see you. How are you this morning? Hey, Tara. Hey, my people. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. It's good to have you all here. We will kind of be getting into it as we go on. Just giving a few minutes for people to get into the room. This is some new technology, so in a minute also, Lily will give you a quick whiz tour, so we know how to use all this functionality. But for those who came to a previous event, you will know already. Morning, everyone. How are we? Are we good? Give me kind of energy levels between 1 and 10. 10 feeling really pumped, 1 feeling a little bit flat. Put it in chat. Let me know how you're feeling this morning. Hey, Warris, all about the 11. Hey, love that. Love that energy. Love that energy. Wait, Vinny. Ooh, and congratulations, lady. I hear that you've got a new production company. That's amazing. Good. 10 had a strong cup of coffee. All right, we'll take that. We'll take that. 10, 10, 10. I'm feeling about a 10 as well. Congratulations, Vinny. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good stuff. We'll leave it a couple of minutes and give people more time to get into the room. Do you know what I mean? And then it's probably best that we start, Lily, with you giving us a quick tour of all this new technology and this fancy technology. Hey, really good to see you. Good to be here. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited. We have so much exciting things planned over the next 8 days. I can't believe that we're here. This has been a minute in planning, but we're here and we're excited. We're human, so there may be some technical hiccups along the way, but I doubt it because Lily's quite on the point. So, you know what I mean? Lily, actually, as people are coming in the room, shall we start by you want to give people a kind of quick whiz tour about things they should know about the platform, how they can communicate with each other, any little bits and pieces that would make it help them kind of interact and get the best out of the sessions?
Yes, I would love to. I can't really share my screen with you because all you'll get is a sort of infinity mirror event. But we all have the same screen we're looking at, so you can see me, and you can see the wonderful Simone. And at the top of your screen, you'll see lots of menu buttons, and then down the right hand side, you'll also see lots of buttons. So I'm going to talk to you about the buttons in the right hand side because these are the buttons that are just for this session. So for every session you go into, this extra menu will be added. At the top, you've got your chat, which we're all experts at because we've already used. In the Q&A, you will see you can ask your questions so they don't get lost in the chat. You can use either or, it's not a problem. We could have created a poll for it, as you can see underneath people in session, just so you can see who else is here right now with us. In polls, we could have created a poll to ask you if you're 1 to 10, but we like to do it chat. We're not going to use breakout rooms because why would we? And then anything Simone mentions about perhaps the TVC app or our collective content fund or any other sessions going on, I can post the resources directly into here. Not that that's required because we already have that in the main event as well. So if we close down the right hand side at the top, obviously you'll see our schedule. Next to that, you'll see our leaderboard. Not too important yet. Our feed. So the feed is the main chat. So inside here, we've got our little message bubbles, and that's where we can talk to each other just inside this session. You want to talk to everybody, you go to the feed. So it's like making an announcement. It's great fun. And next to that, you'll see the little people icon. And that is everybody, including our speakers, who is registered to attend to this festival. What's really great about this, and the reason why we chose to go with this platform specifically, is anyone that is registered, you can message them. So if you open that up and you go to somebody's name, you'll see 3 buttons. You'll see send message and schedule a meeting. So any of our speakers, if you're really interested with them, or you meet somebody in our lounge and you're really vibing with them, but you forgot to get their email address, you can DM them via here and they'll get the email on behalf of us. And then also you've got direct messaging as well. So that's how you'll get them. So if someone wants to do the same for you, you've got your own direct messages, and those are entirely private. No one has access to them. It's just proper DMs. Is there anything else, Simone?
Yeah, and so we can got notifications. Obviously, the schedule's there, so you kind of understand the schedule. We've got a lounge, so in between sessions, we've got a lounge. And when you go to the lounge, I think I made an announcement telling you all to go to the lounge, and then Lily corrected me that you couldn't go to the lounge. But after these sessions, in between, do you want to explain the lounge so that people don't get confused, and then explain the forum, and then I'll jump into it.
Yes. So, sorry, I was getting an email. Sorry. We still work in the background. Yes. So outside of these sessions, obviously these sessions run for an hour, and there are up to 5 a day. In between that, before sessions, after sessions, if you want to hang out and actually talk to somebody face to face, we have set up the lounge. So when you go to reception, at the top, you'll see reception. We've got the nice big blue screen with our logo on it. On the left-hand corner, you'll see 3 tabs. You'll see reception, which is the blue screen. You'll see the lounge, and you'll see resources. If you click on the lounge tab, what you'll see then is tables, and I've set it up. And do suggest any more if you need to. If they're needed, it's not a problem. But at the moment, what I've set them up is by sector and format of TV. So we've got unscripted format, unscripted documentary, unscripted news, scripted, and marketing and branding content for people who do, ads and socials. Those of us still jobbing out there doing the good stuff that's a little bit shorter. And so you can network by sector and genre, or you can just hang out in any table you like and get to know anybody while you're waiting for sessions to start in between. And the third tab, resources, has so far everything you need to know about the TVC, which is very important. And as our speakers start giving us more information as the festival goes on, if there's anything you need to refer back to, you'll see it in there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it'll all become apparent. Don't get too worried about it at the moment. It will become apparent as we move forward and as you start to utilize it. And there's some really cool functionalities. I think what we love about this, which I think kind of resonates or talks about who we are, it's about connection and access and making sure that you're in communication as much as you can with each other through the process. All right. I'm going to jump into it and get started. Hey, TV Collective, like we're live, baby. Oh my God. We are live. I'm so excited. I cannot listen. Welcome to our inaugural Content Festival. We are the TV Collective for those who don't know us, and we're a networking organization that supports people of color that work in TV. We kind of work in 2 ways. We work with people that are looking for jobs and support those take the next major step in their career. And we do that with those who know us for Breakthrough Leaders. And we also look and support those that work and have content and content producers. And we've done that previously for our accelerator programs. And this year we thought we'll turn it up a notch and create the Content Festival. So this is TV Collective Live. And this Content Festival, this is more about talking to those who are creating content, who want to get their content out there, who want to get paid by making their content. This is who we are talking to. I know that right now it's really tough. Do you know what I mean? So what we're hoping is that we can kind of inspire different ways to be looking at how we can engage with each other, how we can connect with each other, how we can support each other, and how we can get our content out there. Before getting started, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the incredible Lily. Lily has pulled this together and has made all this stuff work. So I'm just kind of standing here looking good while she's making and pressing buttons. So I want you to just in chat, just big her up, give her a signal, say thank you to Lily, because actually without her, do you know what I mean? It was just a great idea, and we've been able to pull it together in such a, I'm really impressed, and I'm so excited what you guys are going to experience over the next 8 days. Thank you. I'm seeing the love hearts, Lily. Lots of love to Lily. Also, I want to say thank you to our speakers. They've been absolutely bloody incredible. We have over, is it 40 speakers, Lee? Am I right? Or 30? There is some ludicrous amount of speakers.
43.
But 43 speakers. Most have given up their time to be here. Most of them are kind of want to share their knowledge with you. They want to network. They want to connect. And for me, I think what's most important is that there's this often conversation that says that they can't find the talent. We could have gone on for this could have been a month festival. This could have actually been a year festival. There was a moment whilst planning that Lily said that I had to stop. Now there's just can't squeeze anybody in because there is so much talent out there. You guys represent such a rich and vibrant community of creatives. So it's so exciting to be working with so many. So I want to big up all our speakers and thank you so much because without them, this wouldn't happen. And obviously for you guys, thank you guys for being here, taking a punt, trusting us. Do you know what I mean? This is I don't want like we really love Edinburgh and we love the RTS convention and we've got respect for all of those events. But this is our time where we can come together and have a conversation based from our lens, our unique lens point, and chop it up and talk about things that are important and impacting on us. Right. So before I get into it and talk a little bit too much, what I want you to do, because we're all about connection and network, I just want you to take a few minutes to put in chat, tell us just quickly just who you are, and what your intention is, what you'd like to get out of the festival. Can I just have a couple of minutes for you to put that in chat? So just introduce yourself very quickly and tell us what you'd like to get out of the festival, why you're here and what you'd like to get out of it. Camel, why? What kind of things would you like
Will
to
says
get
good
out? What are
morning
you
from West
hoping?
Yorkshire. Hello, Will.
Hey, Will.
What's West Yorkshire like? Hello
Do you want to
from.
pull Will on stage? Will, are you happy to come on stage? Come on, pull Will on stage. Come and tell us what you're here for and what you're kind of hoping to get out. Are you happy to do that?
I can't do that. That's all you, darling.
Oh, is that me? Oh, do I do that? Should I? Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm
Do you
going to
remember?
invite you to come up and say, "I'll see." Oh, he's using a mobile device. It will see. So if you want to communicate with us, Will can't because he's on a mobile phone. But if you do want to communicate with us, you can communicate only in chat. Put your hand up, and you can also be pulled onto stage. And I'll send you an invite as a speaker. Right. So keep telling us kind of the things that you'd like to get out. It's really important for us to know so that we can kind of make sure that we're kind of tailor making our sessions and the stuff that we do to support you. All right. Okay. First, before we kind of get started, I wanted to acknowledge that obviously the last few months have been really tough. And obviously, we've had a lot of conversation around kind of how we're going to survive to 25. And we also know that historically, the global majority, us brown and black folks, that tend to be the first that kind of feel the impact. Yeah. What I say is we say bun that. We're not about that. What we're trying to do is find ways that we can people still need content. There's an insatiable appetite for content. So we still need to feed those appetites. And the audiences are becoming more diverse and more curious, and they want to know about different communities, and people still want to be represented. Most importantly, people still want to see themselves on screen. So what we've got to do is find ways in this moment. I was speaking to a producer in the States, and he called it the disruption. I thought that was really powerful. The idea of it being a disruption in terms of how we can get our content out there, I find that so empowering. So, with that energy, what we wanted to do was pull together 8 days where we can kind of look and have conversations, connect you with distributors, investors, potential. If you're looking for an agent, hook you up with an agent. How do you get an agent? Have all of these conversations. So, there's business clinics, there's master classes, you can get one-to-one advice. There's loads of stuff. Lily, just show us can you show us quickly the assets to give us a sense of what we've got going on over the next 8 days? So there's international networking. Are you able to do that?
Yes, I am. Bear with me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Sorry, I've been logged out in the background. It's always the way, isn't
No
it?
problem. No
This is how we
problem.
do. This is my favorite thing. It's how we do it at the TVC. It's just,
It's a little bit live. Do you know what I mean? It's live. So what we'll do, yeah,
yeah.
it's live.
We love.
I'll get on it, please. And if you do, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. And really, I want to what you want to connect with like-minded people. Exactly that. I think
Indeed.
one of the things that we've got to do is we've got to create community that is so important. Surviving. It's time for I'm with It's Time to Thrive. And that's what this week's all about. It's about trying to create conversations that make us thrive, trying to put you in the ring with people that will make us thrive. Look at the series of masterclasses that we've got. We've got an amazing series of masterclasses with some of the most amazing filmmakers. One of the things that I'm really excited about is Array Ava DeRuiz. I can never say her name, it's so embarrassing.
Ava DuVernay.
Thank you very much. Gosh, dreadlocks from the States. She's made 13. She's made Selma. We have her president of Array coming to talk about a film that they recently made, Origins. Now, why I think this conversation is really important, and anybody who knows me who's spoken to me around kind of the kind of issues, I think that conversation between race versus caste is going to be a really interesting one. We got Rajesh talking about defiance, fighting the far right, which is so pertinent given the summer that we've had. So I'm interested in chopping up with him. We've got the writer from The Monkey Man. We've got, if you're interested in working in wildlife, natural films, we've got super. Listen, we have a bumper packed week, and this is just the masterclasses. So the idea about the masterclasses is that they're meant to take you behind the scenes, and also spotlight the individual. So make sure that you come to these sessions armed with questions, because it's not really about me. It's about you giving access, making sure you're having those conversations. Lily, let's go to the next things. What have we got next? Clinics. We also thought it was important to kind of give space so that people can ask questions and connect with people. So if you're looking for an agent, for argument's sake, we have Cynthia from Curtis Brown who'll be able to ask your questions about how you can attract and get an agent. We've got Angela Chan. Most of you will remember Angela Chan. She was a diversity worker or head of diversity at Channel 4 many years ago. She's kind of now doing some really exciting stuff in AI and immersive content. So she'll be here to answer your questions around that. We've got Emil from UK TV talking to you guys about perfecting your pitch. We've got Julie from DDA, who's going to be on next, who's going to be talking about how best to market yourself. We've got distributors, we've got fundraisers, BBC Free. Oh my God. We've got how to protect your content. I know for a lot of people, how to protect your IP is a big thing. And we've got business classes as well, business sessions. Again, make sure when you attend these sessions, come armed with questions, right? You're getting these guys for free for an hour. So make sure you bring as many questions as you can and kind of make sure we start those conversations about the issues that impact on us most. Where are we going next, Lily?
Experts.
So I don't know. Excuse me. For those of you who are old enough, and I don't really want to expose my age out here, but I don't know if you remember back in the day, Beck 2 used to do this amazing event called Move On Up. And there was this opportunity where you could book one-to-ones and sit down with an expert. I really love that. So to pay homage to that doesn't happen anymore. We're doing something similar. So over these dates, you're able to book a one-to-one conversation with what any one of our experts, bring to them any issues that you might have about your pitch, getting your content, how do you get a commission, whatever you need to talk about your ideas. Do you know what I mean? They're here to kind of give guidance or give support about your creative endeavors and how you take them to the next steps. So we've got a series of experts, 17th, 24th, 26th. You can book them online, book them, go to the schedule. Quite easy and quite simple to book. Let's go to networking events afterwards. Networking. Now, there are kind of a few key ways that we can network. So like Lily says, actually, Lily, do you know what? I'm going to ask you to explain the networking, because the only thing that I'm really excited about, or the most exciting thing, is our international networking event that we have. So we have Array Crew joining us. Issa Rae's Color Collective. They also have a cohort of filmmakers. There, hopefully, a few of their cohort will be joining us. So we will have creators from LA, from the States, from New York. We've got a few people from Toronto and Canada joining us, a few people from Europe, a few people from Africa. Hopefully, if you tell your people that you know any of your networks, get them to join us. Let's have a big international conversation. Let's not be oftentimes we feel marginalized here, but we are part of massive, huge communities with huge resources. So let's tap into them. And we're hoping that these network opportunities will do that. Lily, talk to us through about connections, the forum and the lounge.
I will. So yeah, Simone said Obviously, we all know huge part of this job is networking. Your network, as we love to say, your network is your net worth. So throughout every single day, we have at least two networking sessions, as well as our lounge. So let's start with 5 minute connections. I think does exactly what it says in the tin. It's 5 minutes to speed network with anyone else at the festival, and there is at least one of them a day. And it's speed networking, so they're usually around lunchtime. And the way Emmy is set up is very funny. You get 5 minutes with somebody, and at minute 4, your screen starts to fade to black. So you'll have a great time with that one. We also have our TVC forum, which Simone and I are going to show you around next. Actually, I've opened it up for us to have a look around. This is how to explain it, Simone. Um, imagine this is basically as close as you can get to working a room whilst not physically being in a room. So we all get dropped in a space, and you use the arrow keys on your keyboard to navigate towards other people. And as you get closer to other people, you'll be able to hear their conversations, and you'll be able to see them on screen. So yeah, I know that's about as much as I can explain it. So we'll have to show you what we mean in a moment. And then the lounge, as I said earlier on the tabs, when you get to reception, the lounge is always open. So I opened the festival at 8 a.m. this morning, and that will not be closed until the 28th of September. So anytime, any day, you can log in and you can go into the lounge and see who else is online, take a seat at a table, and just get to know someone. It's an open space, and because it's open 24 hours a day throughout the festival, if there's anybody you connected with and they run out of time, you can send them a DM and say, "I'll be in the lounge at this time," and then you can meet each other whenever is convenient for both of you, and that doesn't have to be run by anybody else in the festival. Excuse me.
Wonderful.
And just to reiterate what Simone said, the TVC International Forum is this Thursday. It's open for 4 hours because I had to catch everybody's window of time. Because as Simone said, we have got Color Creative, which is Issa Rae's version of the TV, almost their version of the Breakthrough Leaders. The same for Array Crew. We have BIPOC Canada, who are coming from Toronto. We also have Caribbean Tales, and we have a collective from Lagos in Nigeria and Nairobi in Kenya that will be joining us. So they're already confirmed. And then we also have a contingent coming from Berlin and a contingent coming from not Paris, I want to say Lille. Yeah,
I'm going to say France.
yeah,
Can we take
France.
that
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
France works, which is amazing. And what I would encourage you to do is like this only works if we get people in the room, right? So if you like what we're doing and you like what, encourage your networks, your friends to join us. Do you know what I mean? There are discounts codes circulating. Don't let if people feel that price is a barrier, don't let price be a barrier. Let's get people in the room and let's kind of have these conversations, because these conversations are really, really important. And one of the reasons why we put this festival on is essentially it's kind of a couple of reasons. So number one, like I said earlier, there's often a conversation that says that there are not enough of us. They can't find the talent. We don't exist. So what are we going to do, particularly in this moment where it is so challenging, or the rhetoric is that we've got to survive till 25? Let's keep it real. Hold on. Let's keep it real for a second. As Raja said, we have been surviving most of our careers. Yeah. Let's keep it real for a minute. Most of us have just been surviving. This feels like pretty much our everyday. I think why it feels more difficult is because everybody's going through it. So there's an additional pressure. Now, I'm not suggesting it's not tough. I'm really mindful that people are going through a real tough time. So what we wanted to do was kind of change up their energy slightly, kind of make people feel a little bit more proactive, make people know what they can do and how they can support. So what we've done is we're going to celebrate our content makers, and we've had some amazing content that's been made this year, from Supercell to Defiance. There's a long list, goes on and on. So we're going to celebrate some of those content makers. Also have a space where we can have and chop up some of the conversations that are impacting on us. So AI, it's wonderful to hear about how AI can support the kind of smaller content maker or the content maker of a smaller budget, but also what about the challenges around biases and stuff like that? So the conversations we're going to have are from our unique lens point and how they impact on us and how we deal with representation and stuff like that. But above all, One of the things that we're really excited to announce, and this will become more apparent at the end of the festival, we'll kind of do a bigger announcement, is we have started a content fund. Um, we recognize that particularly during this time, it's really difficult for people to access money. That there's always often a conversation that your story isn't too niche or it's too problematic, or there's always an if and a but. So what we've decided to do is try and find a way to start a content fund. Now, if you think we're kind of inspired by the way a partner is run, where everybody kind of puts in some, my background's Caribbean, and if it wasn't for a partner situation where the community came together and supported each other, my grandparents wouldn't have been able to get a house and wouldn't have been, wouldn't have existed. So, or their liberty or the way they were able to kind of navigate space wouldn't have been able to exist. So we've kind of based it on a very similar idea. Lily, can you pull up our page, lottery page, while I explain
Yes.
a little bit more about it? So, because we all know how important representation is, we wanted to give everybody a chance to kind of support. Obviously we're called the TV Collective, so that's what we do. So we have connected with a company called Be Smart, who run already run a charity lottery. So the idea is that every month those who want to contribute, would pay a monthly amount. From that monthly proceeds, we're able to accumulate a pot of money that we can then distribute out to content makers to support them with their development and their production. But for those who've paid in, there's a monthly chance to win 25 grand, which Be Ethical, they look after. But we also do a monthly fund as well. So we also make sure that we do a smaller prize fund. What are we doing? We're doing a weekly fund. Lily, what did we say our weekly fund was? It was, she's like, don't ask me because we're still,
don't ask me. I don't know what you're talking about.
but we're going to do a weekly prize draw. But more importantly, on the 27th, sorry, Lily, I'll let you answer that question in a second. On the 27th of the end of the month, at our final reception, we're going to be giving away 5 grand to kick this off and get them started. Lily, I can see you whizzing and you're quite excited about the Gourmet Society and all the kind of bits and pieces that we do. So do you want to kind of just explain a little bit more about the fund, how it works? And wonderful.
So as you can see, this is the sign up page for the TV Collective Content Fund. You know who we are, you know what we do. So you can win. So this is done with, as Simone said, a company called excuse me, Be Ethical, who work with people like us with charities and CICs to help with fundraising. So as part of signing up, once you sign up, it's £10 a month. And once you sign up, you also get a membership to the Gourmet Society. Gourmet Society gives you discounts on anything social, basically. When I first read about it, I thought, oh, maybe it means I get a free small coffee at Cafe Nero. It is for but it's not just all the big chains. It's not just theme. It's also theme parks, cinemas, some local theatres, but also when I actually researched it, in my town alone, there are 126 restaurants signed up. I live in a very small town. I didn't even know there was 126 restaurants in my town, but 126 of them are signed up to the Gourmet Society. So it's privately owned, family-run businesses as well have signed up to this to give you a discount. It's well worth having. And obviously for us as well, that you can win £25,000, but that's with Be Ethical, because obviously they're the big money guys. For us, we're going to have our own lottery fund every month, where you could be in with a chance of winning smaller prizes, and then every 3 months we're going to do a proper lottery draw with a much bigger number, so that we can help somebody get their sizzle reel finished, or their proof of concept finished, or their or just some seed money, some development funding for their project.
And what we'll be doing in the next couple of weeks is be calling out and having an advisory board and kind of working out how we manage so that this fund is kind of distributed fairly. But the key for this to work is we've all got to be in it for we can all win it, right? So, it's a lottery. The more people put in, the more funds that we have to distribute. If it's just me, put like if it's £20, distributing £20 isn't going to be exciting. So spread the word. This whole thing is about inspiring us and reminding us what we can do and how we can support. Now, before we kind of jump in it, and I want to take you into the lounge, I just wondered if you guys could indulge me for a couple of minutes. I really wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's going on. It's been a kind of funny couple of weeks, as a lot of you know. We lost a dear friend of mine and someone who's really pivotal to the whole kind of campaigning around more inclusion, Simon Albury. He was, like I said, a really close friend of mine, and we lost him last week. But similar to when, I'm just going to share something quite personal. Yeah, all right. So when the TV Collective born, I don't know, was the birth of the TV Collective happened during the time, and I don't know if many of you know this, I lost a son about 15 years ago, or 17 years ago. I mean, that kind of coincided, it kind of gave birth, what I was feeling, the frustration, the pain, kind of gave birth to the TV Collective. And his anniversary of his death day was on the 8th of September. Now, the reason I share this is that my father, we had spoken over the years. My dad obviously was a great support, loved him. We had spoken over the years about doing these kind of things. How can we get more proactive? He used to say, do a content festival, hire out South Bank. I don't know what was wrong with that man. That man, I just, as a quick share, one year, Harry, you know, the prince, the royal Harry, Harry, anyway, his wife, Meghan, was coming into the country. And my father rings me and says to me, has Meghan rang you? And I was like, why would Meghan ring me? What, like, why? And he goes, but you're Simone Pennant from the TV Collective. She got to ring you to get into the space, right? So the fact that that's the kind of levels my dad had me on, he thought that I could do a content festival on my own, hire out South Bank, do the thing. Anyway, we're meant to be doing that. So just quickly going back. So my son, like I said, passed on the 8th of September. My dad was really, really sick a couple of years ago on the 8th of September. It looked like he was going to die. I also have a sister whose birthday is on the 8th of September. And no word of a lie, and it's kind of a little bit inappropriate, but as my dad was about to close his eyes, my sister looked at him, and excuse my French, because I'm going to go there in a minute. She goes, don't you fucking die. My nephew's already died. You're not allowed to die. Because if you die, then I can't celebrate my birthday. My things are mashed up. So my dad held on for 8 more days. And he died today on the 16th of September. So usually on the 16th of September, what I do is I would get up. I'm going to keep it real. Me and Ray and his nephews will get intimate, and we'll just hang out and chill out, and I'll be in a bit of a funk for a day. But I decided for this year, what I was going to do is something slightly different. I was going to harness and I was going to respect his energy and his memory. We had talked about doing something similar like this for years, and I was going to put this to rest. So that is why it's on the 16th of September. That is why it's 8 days, because my dad was 8 was his number. He's born on the 8th of the 8th, 53. 888. So 8 is the number. So that's why we're doing 8 days. Poor Lily was like, 8 days? Like, why 8 days? Now, the reason I share that, I share this for a couple of things. Sometimes, I kind of thought that this was going to be a mad challenge pulling this together. Like I said, I've been speaking about doing this for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. When I realized, as soon as I kind of decided that I was going to dedicate it, not publicly, but to me personally, to my father, there was a different energy that happened. All of a sudden, I was in service to something. So the energy was different. There wasn't like, we had some moments where we were like, shit, I don't know if this is going to work. There was some moments we put this festival up, and we went dinner, and about one person booked. And we were like, oh my God, we cannot have a session where there's like one person in the room. Yeah. But because I had dedicated it and I promised that I was going to do this to my father and made this personal bet, not between nobody else. It wasn't a no. And I'm only sharing this because I felt, because it was such an important lesson to me, that when you give yourself a little distance. Yeah. We all want to do our ideas, and we're going to have projects, and there's things that stop us all the time, and they say no, and actually it's because the industry is telling me I can't do this no more, because and it's getting that we all do to ourselves. When you're in service to something, then it doesn't become about you, and you find the strength and you find what you need to do to go on. Do you know what I mean? And you say, you know what, I'm going to do it. And it's going to be the best frigging thing I can do to my power. Whether people receive it, they don't receive it, I don't care. I showed up 110%. That was the first thing I learned from this process. The second thing was actually when we said we were going to do it, and I did the first step, all of a sudden it's like the universe just opened up and people were saying yes and they were supportive and they got excited about the idea. And something that I thought was really hard, I'm so embarrassed. It took just a couple of weeks to pull together. And I had been mentally planning this for years in my head, stressing. And obviously, a lot of that was to do with Lily, why we were able to put it together. But, the point being that you have this idea in your head and it's so big and I want to do it and I can't because, but when you take the first step, it all becomes possible, right? So that idea of taking the first step, it was just amazing. And kind of after a couple of months' time, we started a couple of months. That first step has led us here, standing in front of you. So oh my, I'm fit. You like, if I don't care on a level, I don't really care. We're just here, and I'm gassed, and I'm excited, and I just can't believe we're here. And then just finally, the last thing for me that I learned was the power of connection, man, community, and kind of what I'm just that. I was hollering at people. I asked somebody. There was somebody I asked to speak, and he just said, "I don't know what you're doing, but yeah, all right." I didn't even need to explain what it is. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm about it." And that was pretty much the energy that everybody came with. People are giving up their time free. People are giving up their expertise free. People want to share. I'm like, let me just share this. It's a bit weird. I'm gonna go left for a second, but I love this story, and I think it kind of talks to the point that I'm trying to make. There is a guy who's homeless, and he's standing outside a train station, and he sat on a box. And I'm sorry, apologize if you've heard this story before, but he sat on a box and he's asking people for some money. He's got a hat, and he's asking, "Please give some money, please." And he's like begging, and people are giving him a little bit of pounds and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and he's getting a few bits, and he's getting by. Somebody comes up to him and says, "What are you sitting on? What's inside the box?" And he goes, "I don't know. I've never looked in the box." He goes, "Why don't you look in the box?" So he opens up this box, and inside this box, it's full of jewels and gold and money. And he realizes that he's been sitting on what he's had all the time. He doesn't need nobody else. And that's what I kind of learned in this process. That our community is so full of rich of connections, of resource, of my talent. Oh my God. Yeah, we should be having conversations with the mainstream and having conversations whoever wants to work with us. But we have everything we need right here. So I urge you over the next couple of days to lean into that, connect with each other, have those conversations. If you need something, holler at something. Private message, and don't be creepy and stalky, but private message people. Let them know what you want to do. Talk about what arts, share, be present, man. Let's take the next 8 days. Let's celebrate. Let's take the kind of spirit from my father, Simon Aubrey, my son. Yeah. Connection, take the first step. Yeah. And do it, be in service, find something that you can honor. And let's have the most amazing 8 days. Thank you guys. TV Collective Live, baby. We are here. Lily, before we jump into the lounge, I really want to go into the fluid room, into the lounge. Shall we take any questions? Has anybody got any questions that you want to share or want to say before we jump into fluid room? We've got about 10 minutes. What time's our next session?
Oh, it's not till 1.
Our next session is at 1 with Julie from DDA. So that's about how personal branding. So if you've got any questions, particularly about a project that you're trying to attract more attention to, DDA are one of the biggest creative agencies that do PR for some of the biggest films out there. So she'll be able to give you some advice about how you can push your films with a little, even if you've got a tiny budget, what sort of resources you can be using, how you can push your film. Again, come armed with questions. I've got a few questions, but it's not really me. I haven't got a film to push, right? So make sure you come armed with questions. More importantly, make sure you tell your friend, your friend, your friend, and your friend's friend to come down to the festival and take part. Because this conversation it's not like me and Lily have these conversations all the time, right? What we wanted to do is we wanted to open up the space and bring to you the conversations that we have on our online platform, which if you go on the resource page, you'll see a link to how you can join our online platform. And we have events like this every single month. This is us just showing up, but we do this this is how we roll every month. And also you can connect. There is about 400-500 people on there, Lily, if that's correct, right? I'm right in terms of numbers. And on there, you've got commissioners and you've got investors and producers and directors and writers. They're all there. There's no excuse. There's a whole community there. So if you feel alone, you don't need to feel alone. We've got an amazing community that you can connect with. And we also post first look jobs. We also post opportunities and news. So and also I'm assuming that you'll find, well, I know that you'll find the link to join the TVC app on the resources. And also, obviously, we have our podcast. And our podcast is also an opportunity where we get to kind of communicate and chop up issues that are important to us. Again, we launched our podcast last week in resources. So if you haven't heard it, make sure you do. The first episode of season 2 is called Race, Representations and Riots. I mean, it looks at our role, like what we did to kind of contribute to the summer's troubles and what responsibility we have as content producers to make sure that our communities are represented properly. So make sure you get involved in that. You can check into that. I'm thinking I want to go into. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I just want to go in there. If anybody's got any questions, find me in where we're about to go. Come up to me, ask me some questions. You'll see it. It is pretty quick questions. If you can't make, all of the session recordings will be placed on the TV Collective app. So if you're a member, you'll be able to access the app, and everything will be placed up there over the next couple of days.
Yes, the sessions while you're here for the festival, the sessions will also be available here to rewatch until the 28th as well.
Didn't even know that.
28th. Simone's really excited.
So no, come on, let's get to the forum. All right, guys. Lily, tell them, explain what's going to happen and what they need to do, and I'm going to see them in 5.
Okay, everybody, if you click on your schedule, you'll see underneath it says 9:45 to 10:30 the forum. I'm going to go in there and start the session. Please just join us. It's that simple. So go into your schedule and look at the forum. I'm going to start the session right now and log off, and then you should be able to join. I'll see you in a minute.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Guys, go on. Let's get in there. I'll see you in a second.